Just McCarr from Manson. I assume. Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Rudo and Megan coming to you live as the Avs take on the Edmonton Oilers. Jesse back in the building, though, doing the hard work while we get the easy job here at the bar. So at least we got that going for us. Unfortunately, no Cale Makar today. Not that that's all that surprising. It just makes me sad. Hopefully he's doing okay. I'm not going to speculate on it. I'm sure the Avs don't want to force anything, and if he's feeling any sort of concussion-like symptoms, they're going to treat it extremely seriously. So, not going to go too much into that one. Replacing him, though, Josh Manson is in the lineup tonight. So the Avs are flirting with having a mostly healthy defense, but can't quite seem to put all the pieces together in a single game. Of course, EJ out for significant time as well, so they're not really truly healthy. But defense might have a tall task in front of them today, facing down the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, always scoring threats abound on that hockey team. So on a back-to-back, it could get quite interesting as far as that goes. All I'm saying is I would take the over today, but I don't know. We'll see what we come up with in our betting segment in a little bit. Megan, expectations for today are we sticking to the Avs need 3 points out of every back-to-back, or are we just saying, look, it's Edmonton, whatever happens, happens?
I still believe that they can get at least a point. I don't even doubt that they could win this game. It's going to be a tall task, though, and it's going to resemble the formula that brought them success last night or last afternoon. Obviously, Edmonton is not the St. Louis team that just lost their captain, though, so that is why it is going to be a taller task. And no Cale Makar hurts, but Josh Manson coming back into the lineup restores a little bit of the balance that I talked about yesterday's game that brought them success. I think having Manson back in, they can still achieve that, and it's going to come down to the things that they did well yesterday. They have to persist. They have to play good team defense all around, make the workload a little bit easier for Georgiev, and beyond just that, not that this was a huge issue, but it would become one, I think, in this game, penalties. I think that the power play is so potent for Edmonton that Curtis McDermott unnecessary cross-check can't happen in this game, and they have to clean that part of it up, and then I think they can get the 2 points.
100% with you on penalties. Look, anytime you already have tired legs, penalty kill's just going to make those legs work even harder. So definitely something the Avs need to avoid. Obviously, the game against St. Louis is the goal. How do the Avs avoid a game like they did against Minnesota? Granted, they won that game, but if they play like that again, I don't think they're beating Edmonton.
It's kind of similar to what they did yesterday. They earned the right to be selectively conservative at the tail end of games if they start with a strong first period. I didn't think their second period was bad yesterday either, but that was where in Minnesota the first and second periods were just a little too sleepy, understandably so. So if they can remind themselves that they can coast a little bit in the third, if they come out with a lot of intensity in the first and second, they'll earn that right to do as much. And I think they have to then, no matter how tired they're feeling, see that light at the end of the tunnel, that they have days off coming up. They just have to apply the pressure right now, even though they might be feeling a little tired.
Certainly true. 4 days off after this. There's no reason to not empty the gas tank, basically. So
exactly.
Hopefully we see that. And look, if you're looking for a positive out of the Minnesota game, that third period, they hit the gas pedal and left it all out there. So hopefully they can do that and, play a good first 2 periods as well in this one. I did want to talk about the star power on this team's. We don't need to get into the debate of is McDavid the best player in the world or is it McKinnon or McCarr or whatever. Not really what I meant. What I meant was particularly with Cale Makar out of the lineup for Colorado, which of these teams has more star power overall? Kind of looking at McKinnon and Rantanen with auxiliary pieces down the Avs lineup, and then on Edmonton's side, you have McDavid and Draisaitl with auxiliary pieces. Which one are you giving the nod to on more star power?
It's tough because I do like a lot of the forward group in Edmonton. Like, just beyond McDavid, Draisaitl, I like Nugent-Hopkins, I like Hyman.
Let's go, Nugent-Hopkins team.
And so I do think that that's pretty solid star power that ordinarily the Avs also can boast. Gabriel Landeskog, Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Val Nichushkin when he's healthy. Like, when they're healthy, I do think that these teams that match up really similarly with just star power, but it's the depth that Edmonton specifically has cited as what makes the Avs difficult to play against. So Avs still have McKinnon in this game. They still have a Rantanen. Obviously, Edmonton has those offensive weapons that you don't want to underestimate, but I'm hoping that the balance that is being brought about, like, can JT Compher step up in this game? I think that he could. Can Evan Rodriguez look like the top 6 player that we've seen out of him points this season? I think he could. And that's where I think the Avs still stand a chance.
So maybe not even necessarily the star power, but
exactly.
The rest of the lineups, as you call the star power, a wash. Always have to dig a little deeper when it comes to Edmonton's defense. I mean, unlike when the Avs play them in the playoffs, they do have a healthy Darnell Nurse. On the Avs side, I guess my question up front is it time for Bowen Byram to ascend? Obviously, he had the great game the other night, but with no Cale Makar, are the Avs rolling out the red carpet for Bo to be a top pairing guy?
I think he's still going to be a really stabilizing presence today, but it is hard to expect him to have a game like he did yesterday, again today, less than 24 hours or so in between. It's a tall ask because he had such an impressive game yesterday. Offensively, I don't know if he'll contribute the same, but he has been a steadying presence in the D-core that I think he can continue that. I think he is going to play those second pair minutes pretty responsibly too. And so if he can contribute offensively the way that he has, I think he's going to get the opportunity with the Avs power play to do as much too. That's something they've teased when Cale Makar isn't in the lineup.
Yep.
He might get to quarterback power play 1. If he wants to lean into the offense and just continue to score, I won't stop him. Camille might.
I don't know that Edmonton can stop him either if he's at his best. So
when he's feeling confident, you can see the way he plays different.
It's incredible how much confidence can make a difference for guys. Pick one. And obvious huge examples, Val Nichushkin when he first came here. The whole world is completely different once, not even necessarily confidence, but once you're not fighting it, once you're over the hump of thinking, oh, I can actually do this. At the NHL level, it even makes as big a difference as any minor league or even just kids playing. So I do think that is important. You kind of already alluded to staying out of the box, but I'm curious your thoughts on special teams as a whole. Is this a night the Avs need to win the special teams, or is it one where they just don't need to lose it?
I mean, they just don't need to lose it because I have been satisfied with the penalty kill as of late. I think that they have been doing a fine job, and I actually really like that Nieto has stepped into the penalty kill as successfully as he has, because we saw the way that even returning personnel for the Avs had to get adjusted to the way the Avs like to PK, and he stepped into that pretty seamlessly. So anyways, pretty comfortable with the penalty kill, not comfortable with Edmonton's power play though. So I'd rather just not really see that tested. As for the Avs power play, especially if they do have something with like Byram on PP1, I don't need them to score on the power play. I just need them to score any which way possible. So if it comes down to something, just it's equalizing at the end, like special teams is neutral, I'm satisfied with that. They have to score some way.
Look, good teams win games at 5-on-5. I think the Avs are a good team. Certainly lately they've looked a whole lot more like a good team. I think Edmonton's a good team too. So go out there and be the better team. big ask on a back-to-back, no doubt about it. But I do believe the Avs are fully capable of it. And perhaps, I don't want to say it's the secret weapon because goaltenders are anything but secret, but maybe the biggest advantage the Avs have in this game could well be in goal if they get what they can out of Georgiev. Do the Avs lead on Georgiev tonight, or is this on the defense to give him a not insane workload?
I look at like the Tampa and Minnesota games, and he really stepped up in a big way, especially in the Minnesota game, that I would like for them to do him a solid and make it a little bit easier the way that they play in front of him. But it is such a huge testament to what Georgiev's capable of when he does save games in that way as well. So I still think it's going to be a combination of both, because I think it'll be harder for the Avs to play as strong team defense as they did yesterday because they are a little bit tired. So I think that he's not going to be as sheltered as Anunen was. But I still think they should strive for something similar.
Josh Manson obviously being the key there for the Avs defense. Fresh legs, of course.
Right.
Also a guy who is... Look, with Colorado, he's found a bit of offensive pop, but certainly more of a defense-first guy when it comes to Colorado's core. Do you think Manson is comfortable here? Is it tough for him to get into a rhythm when he's kind of in and out of the lineup like he has been?
I think that no one likes to play hockey more than hockey players. Like,
That's
just getting
true.
back in games, I think, adds something, a boost in their step, that it was probably even hard for him to sit out of yesterday's game, because I'm sure he just wanted to be playing hockey again and getting those reps in, because nothing replicates gameplay quite like getting in games. So I don't think, like, I do think it's an advantage. I think he would have even liked to play yesterday, but it's definitely going to help that he has fresh legs underneath him, and he's probably looking to go 100%. I don't think any hockey player likes to be withholding.
Yeah, I agree. I also think sometimes hockey players don't know what's best for themselves.
No, we saw this when they took a vote in Nashville last year, and they all
no
said
kidding.
we would
Oh
like to
my
play
God.
hockey. Say no.
That was not the right decision.
Yeah, it wasn't, but we shouldn't be surprised by that outcome.
All right. I like the answer. I do think the Avs are going to need their stars tonight. Obviously, the depth is maybe where they can look to take advantage of Edmonton, but if McKinnon and Rantanen don't get theirs, it's just going to be a tough night to keep up with Edmonton, I suspect. So hopefully we can find some decent money bets over at DraftKings for any of these options, whether it be taking the Avs on the money line or taking specific people to score goals or otherwise. Like I said, I'm taking the over in this game. I don't even care that the over is like 1 million goals. I'm still taking it. These two teams just like to score. That's where I'm at with that. So it's hard not to. I can't even read that, so I'm just going to assume that there are good bets that you can take. You can all look if you want to go with automatics, the usual stuff. Right now, I think a Mikko point or two in this game, pretty solid bet. I wouldn't mind splashing a little money on Bowen Byram for a point, even if Megan might disagree that he can't keep it up. I'm all in. I'm all in on the Bo show.
Boo, I'm just kidding.
First of all, how dare you? Look, DraftKings has all sorts of bets. You can even go in there, do same game parlays, look for whatever you want. They even have, like, if you're a person who doesn't actually want to think about your bets, but you want to put a little money on the game, just bet if you think there will be even or odd number of goals in the game. There's no way anyone could possibly know that. It's just, you're just flipping a coin. So it's just a little bit of fun on top of the game. If you got a little bit of extra cash to splash around, use the DNVR code when you sign up for a new account. Bet $5 on anything to get $200 in free bets. That's just free money to play with. You don't even have to worry about your own money at that point. So go mess around with that. Have some fun. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See the show notes down below for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, Megan, I know you said the depth, but I'm making you pick one player. Who's the X factor tonight?
Evan Rodriguez.
Erod specifically. I like it. I I can't get off of Alex Newhook. I gotta keep picking my boy until he starts showing out again, because I think it's there. I think Newhook is there, just not quite the consistency yet from him this year, but I think it's coming. So a guy like that, he can be a key difference in a game tonight. So hopefully the Avs figure it out and look good. We do have a watch-along coming your way here for this game, so if you want to tune into that, have a little fun with us. It is a weird one. It's one of the ESPN Plus only games, so might be a little bit of an adventure today. Megan, any final thoughts on this game before we get out of here for this pregame?
No.
All right, we'll leave it there. We appreciate...
The last 2 times I've had no final thoughts.
It's worked out pretty okay.
No thoughts, head empty.
That's, look, I mean, that's just how the Avs need to go into back-to-backs, all right? If they're not thinking about their tired legs, they won't be tired. Mind over body or something. I don't know. We appreciate all y'all. We'll be live for the watch-along in about 5 minutes. And, of course, at very least, tune into the post-game. No matter what happens, we'll break it all down for you. We will talk to you in a little bit.